Our next delegation is Mr. Derrick Williams. And I don't see him, so there we go. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Derrick Williams. I'm here tonight on my taxes. The taxes that I paid Mr. Andrews. That's what I'm here about tonight. But before I get into that, I'd like to say the piece that got in the paper here has said that Andrews' contract they obtained under the Freedom of Information. Well, it wasn't. The Freedom of Information is not worth the paper that it's written on. It was received through the Privacy Commission downtown. It took me 19 months to get it. Now, I'm going to say a little piece before I get into the contract. I was here one night when Mr. Thompson was up on the floor here, and he was saying a piece about Mr. Andrews. And Councillor Moya Johnson here stated that she called a conflict of interest. Mr. Lewis called a conflict of interest. Jane Fogel called a conflict of interest. That's very good. That's what you're supposed to do, call a conflict of interest. There's the conflict rules. Now you said that you didn't discuss it and you didn't have nothing to do with it. But at the same time, you went in the back room and you voted on it. And you didn't explain. Let me explain. No. Let me explain something to you. You did not specify what you voted on. So don't tell me you did the first time. Now, that wasn't too bad. Then I got a letter here from Bob Austin. That's yours, Mr. Austin, isn't it? Mr. Austin tells me here, I asked a question, what happened to Mr. Steve Andrews? Mr. Austin wrote back and said that Mr. Andrews resigned. And he said, we understand that the file is now closed. Oh, no, it's not closed. When you people went down to the library, you took this here with you, and you swore on the Bible not to get into a conflict of interest and tell the truth. Now, I have that here. And I have the contract here with me too tonight. That's the contract, which states nothing. That man was not laid off. He was fired. And you people are here telling me, here's your contract. You people must have got it. There it is. This man, you people must have thought you were going to give him the golden handshake and he was going to walk away. No, you're not. Because the next step for me is the province. And I'm going to the province on it. Because some of you better stand up and tell the voters of this community what you've done. You've actually trying to give a man a golden handshake here, and the man is taking the tax dollar and running with it. And that's not right. Every time I say you're not accountable to nobody, you say that you're accountable at voting day. No, you're not. You're accountable now. I'm the man who pays the taxes. You're accountable to me and all the taxpayers of Halton Hills. If 68% of the people didn't vote and 32% did vote, what do you think you got in the votes? You got about 15%. Now, if you people don't want to tell me what happened, very good. On the 9 acres, I'd like to say to Mr. Davis here, ask you to defer that to see what it was worth and what we got, what we received. You did not defer it. It went through. I'd like to commendate Mr. Davis and say, you've done a very good job of asking about it. Now, we never got how much it was worth or how much you gave away. But Mr. Davis asked you, and you just went on. Passed her, pushed her right on through. Very good.
You have 1 minute, Mr. Williams.
I know you're going to cut me off early, don't worry. That's why I'm trying to rush. You wouldn't give me enough time anyway. Now, I might as well tell you, this contract here, you boys missed out on it. So Mr. Andrews is going down the road singing, "So long, it's been good to know you," with the taxpayers' money jingling in his pocket. Goodbye, fellas. I got your money, and you sat there with your mouth open as he went on. So now, I knew that I wouldn't get much out, because I had quite a bit to go. So now, I'd like to make a suggestion that you resign from your position, or you call a public inquiry, or you get an OPP investigation, but you do something for the taxpayers. But what you people done is give the golden handshake, and it isn't right. And you better smarten up. Never mind voting day. The day is now. Thank you.
There may be questions, Mr. Williams? Apparently not. But I can say for the record, I don't know what document Mr. Williams has that says that Mr. Andrews was fired. And there's no document. What Mr. Williams has was information that was issued from the Privacy Commission has authorized the release. But there's no mention in that document that Mr. Williams has that Mr. Andrews has been fired.
And there's no evidence here, right here it is, there was no evidence that man got paid because he resigned. There's nothing in it. Look, there it is. You read it.
Mr. Williams, you had your say. You had your 5 minutes.
That's right. But you're making an allegation that I'll answer to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for cleaning my taxes up.
Okay, now we're going to move along.
Mr. Mayor?
Oh, Councilor Lewis.
I think it's only fitting here that there were some accusations made relative to myself, relative to conflict of interest. I believe I've had one only in my 4 years tenure here, and it was to do with the golf course only, relative to golf course property and the fact that my wife and I have a share. That's all.
And that is the same with Councilor Johnson and Councilor Fogel, and they acted in a most appropriate manner. All three councilors acted in a most appropriate manner. Councilor Davis?
Yes, thank you very much. And of course, that was before my time when this occurred, before I was on council. But I do have a question of staff. The delegation talked about a 19-month wait and having to get the information from the Privacy Commission. I understand that goes up the line from a Freedom of Information request and then goes up to the province. And I'm just wondering why it took so long, and what's this document? I haven't seen this document at all, but is this technically a question that could only be answered at the province level? And just wondering if staff could answer that.
Sure. The Municipal Freedom of Information legislation requires that we process requests filed with us within 30 days, and the request was processed within the 30-day period. In addition to that, the applicant has the right to request an appeal before the Privacy Commissioner. They go through a negotiation phase, and then they forward it on to an arbitrator. So the length of time that Mr. Williams had to wait to obtain his documentation is as a result of it going through the provincial process.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. And just a question about the technical merit. Was there any comment from the Privacy Commission as to should this have been done in 30 days, or did they perhaps come back saying that no, that this was it was proper to go through the provincial level?
Again, the application was processed within the 30 days as required in the legislation on our part. The province has a process that they go through when they deal with an appeal. Mr. Williams filed an appeal, and they followed their process.
Thank you.